Okay, let's go on the record. Good evening. The question and answer portion of the public hearing just ended. If you had questions, I hope you were able to get answers to those questions. I'd like at this time to ask everyone to mute themselves unless they are going to be speaking or unless they are speaking, and that'll cut down on the noise level and prevent any potential audio feedback. If you're participating by phone and you need to unmute yourself to speak, you may do so by pressing *6. Today is Thursday, September 15th of 2022, and the current time is 6:23 p.m. The Missouri Public Service Commission has set aside this time for a local public hearing in the file EO-2022-0332, which is captioned as in the matter of the joint application of Como Electric Cooperative and Union Electric Company doing business as Ameren, Missouri, for an order approving a territorial agreement in Cooper, Cole, and Montauk Counties, Missouri. The Commission has scheduled this local public hearing to give the public an opportunity to ask questions and to comment about the proposed territorial agreement. Now, the Missouri Public Service Commission regulates investor-owned public utilities in Missouri, and as part of that has jurisdictions over territorial agreements such as this one involving a regulated utility and an unregulated electric cooperative. The Commission also regulates the quality of service and safety of operations of public utilities. Now, the commission is made up of 5 commissioners. The commissioners are appointed by the governor to a fixed term and confirmed by the Senate. The commission employs a staff of engineers, accountants, attorneys, financial analysts, and other specialists in the field of utility regulation. My name's John Clark. I'm the regulatory law judge who is going to be overseeing this hearing tonight. With me today present are Commissioners Maida Coleman and Commissioner Glenn Kolkmeyer. Now, this is an official hearing of the Missouri Public Commission, and the statements and testimony of witnesses will be recorded by the court reporter and must be given under oath or affirmation. All of the commissioners will have an opportunity to read the witnesses' remarks, including the ones that are not here tonight, and the commission values your comments and input. Would either of the commissioners like to make any opening remarks tonight?
This is Commissioner Coleman. I'd like to just say thank you to all those who are participating in tonight's public hearing. And thank you for your interest and any information that you provide us to help us better make decisions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner. I see that someone has put their hand up. It's gone down, but I will call people in just a minute. I'm going to begin by asking counsel to enter their appearance for the record, starting with Ameren, Missouri.
Apologies, Judge. Had a little trouble getting off mute. Jim Lowry, representing Ameren, Missouri.
Thank you, Mr. Lowry. For Como Electric Cooperative?
This is Megan McCord, counsel for Como.
Thank you, Ms. McCord. For the commission's staff?
This is Paul Graham. If you can hear me, I'm entering my appearance for staff.
Thank you, Mr. Graham. For the Office of Public Counsel?
Yeah, Mark Poston, appearing for the Office of the Public Counsel.
Thank you, Mr. Poston. Is there any counsel present that I have not called? Okay, if you want to make comments to the commission, I'm first going to swear you in, ask you to affirm or tell the truth, and then I will ask you to state and spell your name. And after that, you can offer your comments to the commission. It appears that we have a few people are here. I don't know how many people are going to speak tonight. So that everybody has an opportunity to speak, I want to give everybody a chance to make their comments, but if it goes on and starts to get repetitive, I may stop people after a bit. Also, after you've made your comments, please remain on the line as there may be follow-up questions from the commission or from the parties. And then I'll dismiss you. Now, the commission will not be able to answer your questions today, and that's because they have to remain impartial until such time as they actually consider this territorial agreement. The commission has not made a decision in this case. Now, if you have questions after the hearing that weren't answered during the question and answer session, you may contact Como or Ameren, and I believe they provided information for that. Is that correct?
Judge, we haven't provided any information, but this is Jim Lowry with Ameren. We haven't provided any information, but we can if follow-up questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I've gotten one request so far. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go ahead, since we don't have a sign-up sheet or anything, I'm going to ask if anyone would like to make comments to the commission at this time, and I'll just take whoever speaks up first.
The City of Boonville, and my name is Kate Fiel. I'm the city administrator. We'd like to offer comments for the record.
Thank you, Ms. Fiel. Would you, I know you already have, do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
Yes,
Okay, would you please state and spell your name for the record?
sure. My name is Kate Fiel, and it's KATEFJELL.
Thank you, Ms. Fiel. And what would you like to tell the commission this evening?
Good evening. My name is Kate Fiel. I'm the city administrator for the City of Boonville. Boonville has been served nearly exclusively by Ameren for years. The city has also worked with Como occasionally and mostly regarding internet and broadband expansion into our community. Most recently, the city did sign a franchise agreement with Como for electric service, primarily because of the Thurman Construction's request for Como to serve the Fox Hollow subdivision. I want to state up front that the city is open to working with both utility partners in an equal and fair manner and is not objecting to the request by Thurman Construction for Fox Hollow to be served by Como. In June, the city was first made aware of a proposed territorial agreement between Como and Ameren. I, along with several others, provided comments to the OPC and PSC staff regarding this territorial agreement. These comments were primarily focused on requesting rate information, a more detailed map, and a request for public hearing, so all interested parties would have an opportunity to comment. To date, all the information that we have requested has been made available, and we're thankful to both Como and Ameren for sharing this. We are also grateful that the PSC has made this public hearing available to interested parties. As a result of these comments and questions, there was a meeting held in Boonville with Ameren, Como, the county, the city, the Boone-Slit Community Development Corporation on July 26. The primary concern of the city comes from this discussion held at the meeting. Como explained to us that any expansion, i.e. new buildings, in the proposed Como territory will become Como-served projects regardless of the current service provider. We are concerned with this policy, particularly since one of the border parcels is the municipal city airport. The city has a master plan, which includes the development of new hangars, new terminal, additional security lighting. It does not make sense from a safety and security standpoint to have Como serve these airport expansions when Ameren is already our service provider. In the case of an emergency, time is of the essence, and having to contact and coordinate with two utility partners when there are potentially exposed power lines, a fire, tornado damage, etc., will create additional challenges, hampering first responders' ability to quickly and responsively address any issues. It was explained to us in the case of the airport that the city could petition you all, the PSC, to keep Ameren as our sole provider. That is costly, time-consuming, and burdensome. We are a small community of about 8,300 residents. The city does not and should not have to hire an attorney to facilitate this process. Airport expansion is good for the city, will assist in economic development, and provides a crucial amenity for the region. However, the territorial agreement, as explained to us, may stymie this growth if we must go through the additional burdens of petitioning the PSC to keep one utility provider. Coordinating growth with two utility companies makes these already complex capital projects needlessly more complicated. And I would like to say that I don't think the city is the only entity or individual who may face such a situation. And finally, just a comment regarding utilities and right-of-ways as someone who also is often involved in those conversations. As technology improves and cities continue to develop, right-of-ways are becoming increasingly more important and less available. It appears that in the territorial agreement, there are likely areas that are currently served by Ameren or the co-op, and that adding additional service lines will needlessly take up land for utility right-of-ways that could be better developed for other purposes, since it will duplicate services. On the face, the territorial agreement is supposed to limit duplication of services and encourage utility companies to invest in their service areas. However, this agreement to the city feels like it is doing just the opposite. It is landlocking Ameren from future growth, thereby discouraging investment and improvements and upgrades in the community, and encouraging duplication of services by adding additional providers where one may already be present. Thank you for your time and attention to this matter, and we appreciate your consideration of the city's comments.
Thank you, Ms. Fiel. Let me ask first, are there any commissioner questions? Okay, hearing none, I've got a couple of questions for you and maybe one thing to ask additionally based upon those answers. Have you had an opportunity yet to talk with Como and Ameren about the city's concerns?
And we did have that joint meeting about it. And admittedly, that was back in July. So we haven't made the direct ask, but at the time that was just explained to us, our route was to petition you all at the PSC.
Okay. Now, I believe they just filed the territorial maps and information the other day. So, but I gather from what you said, you haven't had an opportunity to talk with them since then.
Not since then, but we knew the airport was in what would become Como territory, but it is currently served by Ameren. It was not in the city until just recently.
Okay. I'm going to suggest that you might actually want to reach out to them again and reiterate your concerns. The other thing I might want to indicate, you said that one of the concerns that the city had was about duplication of service. And I just wanted to let you know among the factors that the commission considers in territorial agreements, duplication of services is one of those factors we consider.
Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Is there anybody else who would like to make comments to the commission?
Hi, this is Gigi Quinlan McAravey. I'm the Director of Economic Development in Cooper County.
And I'm sorry, can you say your last name for me again? I don't want to butcher it.
That's okay. McAravey, like macaroni, McAravey.
Okay. Ms. McAravey, do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
Yes, I do.
And would you please state your name again and spell it for the record?
My name is Gigi, Gigi, Quinlan, Quinlan, McAravey, MC, capital AREA, V as in Victor, Y.
And what would you like to tell the commission this evening?
So my name is Gigi Quinlan McAravey. I'm the Director of Economic Development in Cooper County, which includes Boonville, Missouri, and the Village of Windsor. I am an individual. I'm not an attorney and not acting as one. So I just want to make sure that I set the record straight there. I want to begin by thanking you, Most Honorable Judge Clark, and all the Missouri Public Service Commissioners, Ryan Silvey, Scott Rupp, Maida Coleman, Jason Holzman, and Glenn Kolkmeyer. And thank you, Maida and Jason and Glenn, for being here. I really appreciate you being on taking your time. For this is a great opportunity for us to be able to speak and be heard, and I know your time is valuable. Sometimes to hear from those with boots on the ground gives a new perspective, which was not considered initially. I want you to know I have no favorites or biases with either Ameren or Como. They have both been very helpful, professional, and instrumental in my professional success as director of ED, and I hope to continue that professional relationship. As Kate had mentioned, we first learned this on 6/14 about this magnitude of a territorial agreement. Immediately researched, and I just want to let you guys know there was a little confusion about how to communicate with you. We were given in press release 22-172 to send emails to the OPC, the Office of Public Counsel, and emails to the Public Service Commission by different deadlines, which we did. And I wasn't aware about posting it on a particular site. But we did, as individuals were instructed to do, and we did intervene at the dates we were instructed to intervene. And that's the reason I kind of highlighted that. The following will be in layman terms, of course, and as I understand from what I've read, researched, and in meetings with both parties. And please forgive me, this is oversimplified, I know, but I'm going to try to get through some points that I think this magnitude of an agreement could be affected for economic development in Cooper County. The new statute passed in August of 2021 as a result of Senate Bill 44 and as written in parts of section 386.800 under certain provisions may allow a majority of the existing developers, landowners, or prospective electric customers to have a choice and or preference if submitted in good faith to determine which electric service supplier is best suited to serve all or portions of the area in question. Fox Hollow and owner Troy Thurman in Cooper County put wheels in motion to choose their electrical company for their 400-home subdivision. Fox Hollow was sandwiched between two Ameren, Missouri service sites, and Como was within the mile regulation to serve the location. The developer of Fox Hollow's 216 acres utilized his preference for his electric provider and chose Como Electric. Como Electric filed a motion with the PSC. Ameren, I'm assuming, rebutted that motion. Ameren appeared to, this is what we were told in our meeting, that I asked how it got from 216 to a 20,000 acre. So it went from 216 ask to a 20,000 acre ask. And I was told by an Ameren representative that they did not want to set a precedence across the state if they happen to lose this case. It appeared that because of such, I don't know how this happened, but because I don't know if Como had them over the barrel and then turned this 216 acres into 20,000 acres of this territory agreement. But from the outside looking in, that's what it appeared from my conversations. Who loses and why? Well, landowners, developers, businesses, and communities who are located in this massive territory agreement by potentially eliminating competition, potentially stalling and or hindering economic development. Why? A territorial agreement of this magnitude removes choices for the very thing the new statute appeared to promote. This same statute was shared by Como's representative to Ameren in one of your all's documented, in the one that says Como's SIR response to Ameren, Missouri's motion for summary determination comes now to Como Cooperative. And it states, Ameren, Missouri's reply to Como response to Ameren for summary determination reflects Ameren, Missouri's ongoing strenuous attempt to force a cooperative member, Mr. Thurman, against his preference to take an electric service from Ameren, Missouri, when the new law passed last session by General Assembly provides a method by which that result certainly can be avoided by the exercise of the new powers granted to the Commission. This goes against the mission statements of the PSC that provided the public the information they need to make an educated utility choice, which is just one of the mission statements. If these choices are not available in this huge territorial agreement, then there isn't much of an educated utility choice to utilize. On the economic development front, I am concerned about this magnitude of an agreement with no competition and all who this could impact. This is another PSC mission statement: to establish standards so that competition will maintain or improve the quality of service. I want to give some examples. I checked with our water district and I asked if he would be on this line, and he has conversed with an electric company and chose not to be. So he said I could share this example, and I confirmed with him this was true. Our water district a few years ago needed 3-phase. Both utilities were around the area. The water district reached out to both Ameren, Missouri and Como Electric for estimates. One of the providers was at the site. The other provider had to acquire utility easements to reach the site destination to the water district, and would have cost much needed time and potential money. They were both offering the same price, but because the other one couldn't get there in a potential timely manner, the other one was chosen because of competition. Another example, I have been speaking with landowners about a particular site. Neither Ameren nor Como are at this site. However, they are both appear to be within a mile guideline. In this new territorial agreement, the one utility company is automatically eliminated to compete. Here, both landowner and the potential new company could lose because they cannot seek competition bids. They will not be given the luxury of competition Mr. Thurman was allowed. The PSC, another PSC mission statement: to provide an efficient regulatory process that is responsive to all parties and perform our duties ethically and professionally. How is landlocking Ameren, Missouri on 3 sides and a fourth of another side responsive to all parties? It is hard to observe the ethics behind this territorial agreement. Do you think Ameren is going to want to give the city of Boonville the latest and greatest new technology when they know they can grow in other areas? Most businesses, I would say, would not invest their capital into markets that they have less of an opportunity to grow. The PSC's another mission statement of the PSD that this territorial agreement kind of debuts is a statement to support economic development through either traditional rate, return, regulation, or competition as required by law. I started this position in economic development 3 years ago, next month, when there was not a full-time economic developer working in this space for a decade. We have had great success with the announcement of Kawasaki Motors Manufacturing Corporation, bringing initially 280 jobs to our area, and now are reporting to up that count to 400 to 500, with 2 additional lines being constructed as we speak. We have had CMMG expand their facility this year with an additional 32,000 square feet and additional 25 more jobs. Spirit of 76 expanded their footprint with a huge addition onto their distribution center. The Thurmans are bringing us 400 single-family homes, which I worked with the Thurmans for 2 years to get this project into our area because I knew it was needed. Boone Point is bringing us mixed-use dwelling with 63 homes, over 100 apartments, and 24 condominiums. In the works is a workforce housing in the form of subsidized rentals to bring us a huge need of affordable housing. Investment, and just last week, I am proud to say a huge investment, and mostly because of Como, we have a certified 103-acre industrial development site with the state of Missouri in Cooper County. Economic development is alive in Cooper County. I get it why Como wants to tap in, and I'm flattered at their aggressiveness. However, I don't believe a territorial agreement of this magnitude is an asset in any form to our great county. I'm hoping for your honor and the PSC commissioners to take a realistic approach on this territorial agreement. My honest and good faith estimate of a territorial agreement would be for Como Electric to receive the 216 acres that was initially asked, along with the 103 acres that they've worked so diligently and hard on to become state certified in Windsor Village. There are measures that are less drastic and more fair to everyone. I just don't see this huge territorial agreement being the intent of this new statute, nor favorable to economic development, allowing competition or responsive to all parties, especially Ameren. Thank you all so much for your time, and I do hope this was meaningful.
Are there any questions from the commissioners?
Not at this time, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Kolkmeyer. I don't have any questions for you, Ms. McAravy. I thank you for your comments. They were very thorough. Is there anybody else who would like to offer comments to the commission this evening? And I'll apologize, when I'm unmuted, you may hear a marching band, which I can't do anything about. But is there anybody else who would like to offer comments this evening? Okay, nobody has come forward. Please feel free to interrupt me if you change your mind while I go through my hearing closing. I'd like to thank everyone for their participation today. It's wonderful when people participate and the commission takes your comments very seriously. The commissioners who were not here tonight will be able to read your comments in the transcript of tonight's proceeding. If you have additional comments or someone that you know was unable to make it tonight and would like to offer comments, you can make written comments by using the email address pscinfo@psc.mo.gov, by contacting the Office of the Public Counsel, or by going to the PSC's webpage, and I believe there's a link there to offer comments. I think if you do that, you need to put in the case number, which in this case is EO 2022-0332. Now, I asked at one point if the electrical utilities had provided information where people who didn't or had additional questions regarding either the territorial agreement or their own property could call with those questions. Mr. Lowry, does Ameren have such a number that you would be willing to give out?
Sure. Should I just put it in the chat, Judge?
You can put it in the chat and you can also say it out loud.
Okay. This is the assistant in the Central Missouri Division, Miss Campbell, and the phone number is 573-681-7101.
Say those last four, please.
7101.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lowry. And for Como, Ms. McCord, is there a number where Como can be reached for information?
I'm sure there is, Judge. I'll ask Aaron to comment about which number he'd like for them to use.
Hi, this is Aaron with Como. I will give you a direct line to my desk, 660-433-6164. Anybody that has any questions can reach out to us directly and we'll be happy to help them. Thank you all very much for attending this evening, by the way.
Thank you. And that's 660-433-6164?
You got it.
Okay, thank you so much. Again, thank you to everybody for attending. And I don't see anything further, so this hearing is now adjourned and we will go off the record.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.